Hi all, welcome to my channel, BK World TV. Today we will be continuing the build the U.S.S. Enterprise D series by DeAgostini Japan for Pack 15, stages 55 through 58. So today we will be continuing on the build the U.S.S. Enterprise D series. This is for Pack 15, stages 55 through 58 from DeAgostini Japan. So as you can see here, we have the magazine for Pack 15 as well as all the parts for the stages from 55 through 58. So as usual, we'll go ahead and take a look at the contents of the magazine first and then get started on the build. So here in the magazine, we'll go ahead and take a look at the back side of the magazine. We'll skip the installation steps here, or the assembly steps. So as you can see, the first one is from episode 3, or season 3, episode 19. It is Captain's Holiday. That's where Captain Picard goes on to get the Horgan, as well as meet Vash as well. Very interesting little and fun episode, I'd say. Primarily takes place on Risa, being a vacation planet and all. So I did like the Vash character. For at least that story arc anyways, but then we move on to episode 20, which is Tin Man. So as you can see, they have various little concept drawings of Tin Man there as well. And then next we move on to episode 21, Hollow Pursuits. This is where they introduced Lieutenant Reginald Barclay's character, and then Barclay's character became more prominent in other series as well. So I think Voyager, and then they mentioned him, or at least the character in like Star Trek Enterprise and Deep Space Nine as well. But yeah, definitely enjoyed having the character Barclay, performed by Dwight Schultz. Like the character as well. Very interesting to be part of Star Trek there. So, and then moving on to episode 22, which is the most toys. I think this is where Data gets kidnapped, and then I think the original character for Kivas Fajos was supposed to be played by David Rappaport, but he had some personal issues, so they had to reshoot, I think, at least maybe the first few scenes as well. Kind of mentions that here. And then moving on to episode 23, which is about Sarek. Then you can see some concept drawing as well for the quarters of the Enterprise, it looks like. At least that's what it mentions there. And then, as you can see, you got some behind-the-scenes photos of Sarek with Walter Koenig or Chevak as well. So, yes, and that is it for the contents of the magazine. It's just a quick overview of the magazine. So now we'll go ahead and move on to the build for Pack 15. So as you can see here, for stage 55, we will be installing the Deck 2 base panel onto the saucer section, and then as well as installing the impulse engine as well as the main bridge onto the saucer section as well, and looks like also the maybe the battery compartment. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, if we zoom in here, we have the Deck 2 base panel here with the 170ND registry number in yellow there. So we'll be installing this onto the saucer section. So let's get our saucer section here. So as you can see, we have our saucer section right there. And then this panel will be sitting right in this spot right there, and then we'll be flipping this over, and then we will be securing this deck panel into place here with 6 FM screws. So the screws will go right around in this section here. So we will get that screwed into place. So as you can see, we now have the deck panel piece installed right there. So if we zoom out just a little bit here. So next we will be installing the main bridge and the rest of the deck to assembly that we assembled, I think maybe during the first pack. So it will be this piece right here. So the wires, so for the wires for the lightning cable will be fed out. So let's go ahead and get those wirings out. So basically this piece will sit right over here just like that. And then we will be securing the entire main bridge piece onto the saucer section with 14 BM screws. So we'll go ahead and flip this over first. Then we will be attaching using 14 BM screws to secure that in place. So we'll get that screwed in and be right back. Okay, so now that we have all 14 of the screws installed for the bottom half of the main bridge screwed in. Next, what we'll be doing is we'll be taking off the 2 FM screws that are temporarily holding the second PCB board there, so we can add the remaining 8 BM screws for the main bridge together. So let's go ahead and get the board off. And then we will be installing the 8 screws, or the 8 BM screws for the to secure the main bridge onto the frame right up there. So we'll get that screwed in and then be right back. Okay, so now that we have all the screws installed for the main bridge, and it's all now screwed into place, we will be now putting back the 2 original FM screws for the circuit board, and then adding 2 more FM screws to secure the second PCB board into place. So let's go ahead and get that screwed in. Okay, so now that we have the PCB board secured into place, and so next what we'll be doing is we'll be installing the lighting. So we'll be getting the lighting for the main bridge. That's right here, and then install connecting that onto the middle row. I think the 4th slot in the middle row from the right. So let's go ahead and get that plugged in. Then we will be plugging in the the left side of the main bridge lighting wire there onto the very right side slot on the board right there as well. Then we will be installing the lighting, the last lighting wire for the main bridge onto the bottom row there on it as well. So let's go ahead and get that slotted in. So just like that. And then next we'll be assembling the saucer impulse engine. So let's go ahead and get that impulse engine. So next what we'll be doing is we'll be installing the left impulse engine, and then getting the left side of the reflector there. So we'll be attaching those two, or at least it will be sitting on top of each other, just like that. And then we will be getting the lighting cable that we installed onto this deck panel, I believe back in stage 50. Then we'll be feeding that lighting right through. So basically it'll look just like that. And then we will be securing that into place right into this slot on the left side here. with 2 AP screws. So let's go ahead and get that screwed in. And then next we'll be doing the same side onto the right impulse engine. So we'll be getting the right impulse engine just like that. Then we'll be installing the lighting for it as well. So just like that. So as you can see, now I got the impulse engines installed. So now we'll go ahead and set up the entire saucer section aside, as we're done with that for at least for this stage. And then we will now go ahead and assemble the little battery compartment for the warp nacelle. So as you can see here, we have the little nut that goes right in there on top. It's gonna sit right there, and then we're gonna get the cover for it. We're gonna place that right over the nut, and then we're gonna secure those pieces together with 2 AP screws. So let's get that screwed in. And then there we have the battery compartment all assembled. So that is it for stage 55. In stage 56, we will be installing the dorsal phaser array onto the top half of the saucer section that we've been working on, as well as installing the battery pack from the previous stage onto the bottom half of the warp nacelle. So let's get started. So first off, we'll be adding the first piece of the dorsal phaser array marked U01. They're all marked right there on the back side of the underside of the phaser array there. So this is the end piece. So we'll go ahead and place that right there, and then we'll flip this over and then secure that with 3 CP screws. So let's go ahead and get that piece all screwed in. Okay, so now we have our first piece installed. Next we will be installing the second piece marked U02 and U03. So which is this U02 is this longer piece right there, and then U03 is the shorter piece for the dorsal phaser array. So it'll stay just like that. And then we will be securing both of those pieces together with 7 CP screws. So let's go ahead and get them screwed in. So now that we got 2 more pieces of the phaser array screwed in, next we will be installing piece number U06, which is this short piece right here. It's gonna sit right there. Then again, we'll be using 3 CP screws to secure that into place. So let's get that screwed in as well. Then for the last step of the installation of the phaser array, we will be installing part number U07, which is that piece there, and then the final end piece, which is U08. Just like that. And then we will be using 7 CP screws to secure both of those pieces together. So we'll go ahead and get that all screwed in. So as you can see, we now got the dorsal phaser array pieces all installed on the saucer section. So it's looking, at least the top half of the saucer section looks pretty much completed. Looks really nice. So next what we're going to do is we're going to install the indicator or formation lights that's going to be attached to the end pieces right there. So we'll be installing the red indicator or formation light. Right there we have a red and the green one. So the red one is going to go on the port side of the saucer section. So it'll be if we're having the saucer section upside down, it'll be on the right side right there. Then the green one's going to go on the other side right there. So if we zoom out a little bit, you can see the red one there. Then we'll be installing the green one just like that right there. And then basically that is it for the saucer section work on the stage. So next we'll move on to the warp nacelle. So as you can see here, we have the bottom half of the warp nacelle here. So basically what we will be doing is we'll be installing this battery box that we set up in the previous stage, and then getting that installed. So basically the battery box will sit just like that right there, and then we're going to secure that into place with 2 GM screws. So let's go ahead and get that screwed in. So next we will be installing the switch. So the switch is going to go right to this opening right there. You're just going to slide that in. And then it's going to be secured into place with 2 DM screws. So let's screw the switch into place. So just like that. So as you can see, we now have the switch installed for the warp nacelle. And then that is basically it for stage 56. In stage 57, we will be working on the remaining half of the warp nacelle, installing like the locking pin and spring, attaching, and then on the saucer section we'll be attaching another PCB board and starting on the skeletal frame for the lower section. So let's get started. Okay, so first off, if we zoom in, we'll be taking the lock spring and the pin here, and then we'll be putting the pin right through the spring, just like that. And then we will be bringing in the bottom portion of the warp nacelle here, and then attaching this part right here. They're gonna sit right here, just like that. So the spring is gonna be sitting inside of this little housing openings here, as well as the notch that's on the pin. It's gonna be all sitting inside. And then we're gonna install this plastic cover. So the plastic cover has 2 notches that's gonna be going on the inside of that opening, and it's going to be secured into place with 2 AM screws. So let's go ahead and screw it in. So as you can see here, we now have the spring and the locking pin installed, at least one of them installed on the nacelle. So we'll go ahead and set this piece aside and bring over the saucer section. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take the wire that's included in this pack. This is the PCB cable. Then we're going to connect that cable into the in-out slot right here on the second board. So let's go ahead and do that. And then next we're going to install this, the other end of the cable onto the new PCB board that's in this stage. We're going to connect it just like that. Then we're going to put the board right up here and then attach it to the skeletal frame with 4 FM screws. So let's go ahead and do that as well. So as you can see, we now got the board installed. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take the switch that's included in the stage and then connect that to the socket marked switch 1, which is actually on the bottom board right in here. So if we actually zoom, bring this up a little bit, so it is marked switch 1 right here on the lower right side. So we'll go ahead and get this plugged in. Then next we're going to connect the panel lights from 33C and 36H into these 2 slots in the center on the very right side, just like that. And then we're gonna plug in the panel lights for 35H and 54Ds all together. So I believe the 54D are the gray and red cables. And then next what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie down all the cables, make sure it's nice and clean. So we'll go ahead and do that and be right back. So as you can see, we tidied up the cables along this part here. So next what we're going to do is I've already connected the battery pack to the first PCB board on the slot labeled IN2. And then we're going to test the lights using the switch that we fitted, which is right here actually. So let's go ahead and get this whole thing flipped over and then test out the lights. So if we test the lights, as you can see, it is lighting up. Once we, it's a bit hard to see with all the studio lights on, so I turned them off. But yeah, you can see all the lights are working. So I'll go ahead and turn our lights all back on. Then next, we will start the installation of the lower portion of the scale frame. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So for the lower portion of the scale frame, as you can see, we have the frame right here. And then we will be placing this frame, I believe, right onto here. So you just have to make sure we don't pinch any of the wires here. The frame will be installed right around there. And then will be secured into place using 4 FM screws and 8 BM screws. So we'll go ahead and get that screwed in and be right back. So as you can see, we installed the scale frame for the lower half of the saucer section. So that is it for stage 57. In stage 58, we will be installing another lock pin and spring to the nacelle. It's the second one that we'll be installing onto the bottom half of the nacelle, and then adding some additional lighting as well as the lower part of the skull frame on the saucer section. So let's get started. So first off, we will be sliding this spring right here into the locking pin just like that onto the longer side of the locking pin. So as you can see, it'll look just like that, and then we will be placing that onto the nacelle, into the second portion or the second slot over there. So basically the pin, there's a little flange that's on the pin that's going to be on the inside of this opening, as well as the spring. So you just have to push it in just like that. And then we're going to install the lock bracket here, or the cover rather. And then the cover can go either way. Really, they're both the same. And then we're going to secure that into place with 2 AM screws. So let's go ahead and get that screwed in. So as you can see, we now have the second locking pin and assembly installed onto the bottom half of this nacelle. So we'll go ahead and set this one aside and then bring over the saucer section so we can install some of the lights. So as you can see, we have the saucer section here. I'll go ahead and zoom out just a little bit here. And then next we will be installing this short red and black lighting. This is for the formation lights of the saucer section. So we are basically going to connect this onto the opening slot on the PCB board, which is going to be this one right here on the bottom there. And then we're going to slide that out somewhere right here under panel U3-11-A, which is this panel right here. So let's go ahead and get this wired through. So as you can see, we got one of the formation lights through. It's going to be tucked right underneath there. So we'll go ahead and set that one there for now. And then next what we're going to do is we're going to take another of the LED lights. All these lighting that we're doing next is all for the formation lights. So I think it's going to be on the outer side of the saucer section. It's going to be wired around on the inside here. So next we're going to install the aft port formation light. So we'll be using wire or the LED light number 58F, which is the one with it's a 4-plug pin, but there's only 2 pins are being used. I believe the rest are also similar, but this one is one of the longer ones. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and feed the wire through. So it's going to be basically, we connect onto this slot on the PCB board here, and it's going to loop around all the way onto the backside here near the where the drive section will connect. So we'll go ahead and get that done and be right back. So as you can see, we got the aft port formation light here. Basically, it's gonna go right. You have to slide that through right underneath the skeletal frame for the top portion there. It's gonna end up right there. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the aft starboard formation light. Again, we'll be doing the same exact thing, but to the it's gonna go around this way. So we'll go ahead and get that done and be right back. So as you can see, we now have the aft starboard formation light installed. So next we will be taking another light here. This is also for the formation light, and then this is going to be there's going to be, I think, 2 formation lights on right around the middle part here of the subsection on each end. So we'll go ahead and get both of these connected and be right back. So as you can see, we got the formation lights installed on either end here in the middle, and they both connect to these slots here on the lower bottom left of the first PCB board. So next, what we'll be doing is we will be installing this lower portion, the skeletal frame, and then basically this will sit right in here, just like that. So we need to first get some of these wires all cleaned up. It will sit right in here, just like that, and then we'll be securing that into place with 4 FM screws and 8 BM screws. So let's go ahead and get that screwed in and be right back. Okay, so as you can see, we now have the second lower skeletal frame installed. So next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna test our formation lights here. So as you can see, the front formation light, which is right here, will stay lit, while the remaining other ones will be all blinking, which is the case right here. I think we zoom out just a little bit, you may be able to see it. So that's the back side, and then the front side here, as well as the sides as well. So if we turn on our studio lights here again, that is basically it for stage 58 and for pack 15. So in pack 15, we install all the phaser array around the top on the top of the saucer section here, and then if we flip the saucer section over here, we installed the formation reflectors right there on top, as well as the formation lights, and then started installing the lower part of the skeletal frame. And then we also started working on the bottom half of the warp nacelle here. So basically we installed some locking pins and the switch and the battery compartment. So so far the top half of the saucer section is looking really nice. As we're starting to work on the lower portion of the saucer section as well. So can't wait to see how it will all come together. But anyways, hope you are enjoying this series. If you are, please don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.